Good morning. Welcome to the fourth and final installment of the money sessions that I'm going to be conducting. We're going to be going over analysis today, tying everything that we've talked about in the last 3 weeks together, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. I'd like to just make a comment to preface my last money session. In these last two, I've tried to push my technological comfort zone by videoing this. I think in today's age, with all the technology we have available, we should all make an effort to try to do it a little bit different. And I hope everyone else builds on doing the videos, posting them on YouTube, and making them accessible to everyone that way. I think it's a pretty useful tool, and I hope everybody follows suit. Thanks a lot. So, in the spirit of analysis, let's take a look at what's happening in our immediate surroundings. On Tuesday morning, we woke up to this headline. So the headlines were: Explosions rock Belgian capital Brussels, killing dozens. So we read this and it hardly even stirs us, which is the first sign that we have that the new normal is completely abnormal. A little bit odd. The next one is new home sales plunge most since June 2014, and they say 6.1% drop year over year. In February is the biggest annual drop since June 2014, and the average home prices are also falling. So why do we look at this? For two reasons. If you're buying a house, this is useful information, and number two, since home building is a large economic driver, it gives us an idea of the health of consumers, banks, employment, advanced warnings of any slowdowns. Something good to keep up with. This next one is a little bit older. It's from March 18th, and it says, what tools does the Fed have left? Part 1, negative interest rates. And interestingly enough, this is from Ben Bernanke, the ex-chairman for the Federal Reserve, and he talks about negative interest rates, which a lot of you maybe have never heard of. But negative interest rates is a situation which is happening throughout Europe. But what it means is, let's say you have money in the bank, you would have to pay the bank to keep the money there for you. How does that sound? When that happens, that's kind of the bell going off. And finally, on March 23rd, the US State Department issues travel alert for all of Europe. So this is a bit scary. I mean, a lot of rainbow people are traveling to Bangkok, Thailand next month. Is there going to be a travel warning for that as well? It seems like we can't leave our country without being in fear, and sometimes we're in fear in our own country. So these are all indications of the turmoil around us. So what does all this information tell us? First of all, the Belgium thing is just downright scary. All this terrorism and people dying makes us all uncomfortable. The second headline was that basically you can conclude the economy is on weak footing. That's why interest rates are at 0.25% right now. The negative interest rates, that if you're not aware of that possibility of that coming to the United States, at least now you're aware. And the U.S. State Department warning, of course, if you have to travel, you have to kind of keep that in mind. Now, how can we use this information from an investment standpoint? Well, if you were just to be buying stocks and you saw this happening, then you should probably be investing in the war machine or companies that are involved in providing products and services to the U.S. military. You might do well because this path of war making may continue for years to come. If you have to travel, then you probably want to take some body armor. Maybe you want to short some airline stocks because it's likely that one of them is going to get bombed or something soon. Negative interest rates, well, if you've got money in the bank, then they're going to be eating your money while it just sits there. So you're going to have to move it out of there. A vehicle that I would suggest is gold or silver. And we've already talked about property, although it doesn't seem like it's a great time to buy property right now. So you might have to wait, and you can always go from one thing to another. So if you want to get your money out of the bank now, then you could buy gold, and when the time is right, buy some property. The last one, the travel alert for all of Europe. Sometimes you just need that information to make better decisions about. You want to basically follow the instructions in the travel advisory, which are to avoid large crowds, avoid sporting events, and anywhere where you're just an easy target. Take that to the bank. So what can we do in light of all of this? Should we go hide in a cave somewhere? Store some food? Well, I mean, change is everywhere. It's in our industry everywhere, and it's in the world everywhere. There's more volatility everywhere. You don't know what's going to happen next, what's going to go up, what's going to go down, who's going to be safe, who's going to be dead, nothing. There's more risk in the environment, in the financial world, in my opinion. So you, as an individual, as a businessman, have to demand a greater return for your money if there's more risk. But the financial institutions are going in the opposite direction. They want to give you less. So we, the consumers, the regular people out on the streets, are getting squeezed a bit. So what else? There's corruption on the rise, it seems like, everywhere. Somebody's trying to get away with something, or somebody's trying to take something from us for nothing. So we, in essence, have to protect ourselves. So what can we do? Again, do we go and hide? Well, in the face of increasing risk and volatility, I would suggest make hay while the sun shines. Things stand as they are. We need to continue to work hard. You need to have something. You need to make something. You need something to begin with. So what does that mean? You need money. Without money, you don't have a horse in the race, because the first step is acquiring enough money to have the flexibility to obtain other assets that you can manage, and you can ensure a safe or a financially independent retirement where you're not reliant on measly crumbs from Social Security if there's anything at all coming to you. So set goals. Make the money that you're going to make here at Rainbow. Do the demos that you're going to do every month. Set some money aside. What are you going to do from this point? How much are you going to save? And how are you going to put that money? What are you going to do with it? Once the money becomes so enormous, the stack of money, hopefully for every single one of you, becomes so large that you actually have a problem having to decide what to do with all this money. So once you work, you save some money, then you want to convert it to something tangible. Silver or gold, I would say, would be a good recommendation right now. Silver probably winning out over gold, and it's more accessible anyway. And then, if you need to convert out of that for some reason, or there's an opportunity to move into something else in the future, such as the property prices come down significantly, then you could convert that gold or silver into tangible. And by that I mean something you can touch and feel. Not some certificate, not something some financial institution has or some broker has stacked away somewhere that you never get to see. You want something that you can touch and feel, and you know it's there, it's real. So that's basically my plan I've just laid out for you. Acquire property, whether it's homes or land, and keep it there and watch it appreciate. In the future, I'm going to buy a sailboat. A lot of you know what my plans are. Buy a sailboat, and I'm going to keep it in the Caribbean, and I'm going to I'm going to just relax there, and then retire there in the future. Leave our son Lucas a few $1 million to take care of his needs in the future, and if anybody wants input on what they should be doing, I'd be happy to give you some advice, but everything's going to be impacted by your age and where you are in your life. If you're young and you have other goals in mind, then you can pursue them. Just be mindful of the fact that time passes relatively quickly, and I don't want you to reach 55 and you're thinking, oh, I need another 50 years in order to retire. That's just not going to work. All right, now I've got a little surprise for you coming up next. Stand by. All right, so we're going to take a little field trip to the bedroom. No, excuse me. We're just going to get a field trip to the coin shop. So I just checked the price of silver. Whenever I'm going to go buy something, I want to check what the spot price is today. So it's $15.20 for an ounce of silver. That's a bullion price. Now, when you buy a minted coin or even a round, a minted coin is usually a government minted coin, and then a round will be something be silver as well, but it's not basically minted by like the Canadian government or the US government, so you can get them for less, but the silver content should be the same. It's just marketing stuff. So if today's spot price is $15.20 for an ounce of silver, I hope to get this silver now I'm about to buy for around $17.50, $18. I'm going to get the US Walking Liberty, and I'll show it to you guys, and we'll compare it with a round to see the price differences as well. So again, today, remember, spot price $15.20. Here we go. I've bought here a couple of times. This is a store in Roswell, and I would just suggest find a reputable coin dealer in your area. So here we have our two examples. On the left, we've got silver rounds, which she'll sell individually for $17.71. And on the right, we've got the American Eagles that she will sell to me for $19.21. We're going to go with the American Eagle. So here I have the newly purchased Silver Eagle in a little case. And here's my offer to all of you. The first person who sends me an email to this address, and you have to request the American Silver Eagle. It cost me $19.21, and I'll mail it to you. Make sure you send me your address. I'll mail it to you as a little gift for listening, as an incentive to start your own stacking collection of eagles or gold or whatever it is you want to do. All right, so to recap, to start off, we got to work hard. We got to make money. We want to save as much money as we possibly can, and we want to protect it from the institutions out there, financial institutions, the government. And then we want to invest our money, manage it, safeguard your money, and ultimately you want to safeguard your wealth. If I ever run into you in sailing in the Caribbean, I'll show you the sailboat that Rainbow bought, and I'll be happy to share a meal with you. And this is goodbye for now. I wish you all the best of luck, and make lots of money. And of course, good selling.